Hello to everybody, and I can see some of you are back. Thank you very much for that. And today is Thursday, just before Good Friday. And welcome to afternoon tea with me, Sandra from Tiverton, Bead and Wool Shop. Hello, do you have your cup already? And I have, and yeah, it's nearly, yes, we are in a third week of lockdown, and yeah, what to say about it? At least the weather is nice, even though we can't go out. And it's a good time for crafting. So today we will be continuing in our sock, where I will show you how I knit socks, how I knit heel, and how you can adapt that pattern to everything else. And basically, then is a little update on the waistcoat I'm doing, and yes, what else? Yes, there is one warning regarding mail orders. I had somebody inquiring, oh, I paid first class delivery, where is my order? We dispatch our orders every day, but because of the post office opening hours, and I know I had a word with girls, and the actual bag goes out around lunchtime. So even though they are open till I think 3 o'clock, there is no point going in there 5 to 3 and expect that parcel to be delivered first class next day morning. It's not going to happen, not while we are in this situation. So whatever we do, I'm trying to do like by 10 o'clock. I should have put it online, but by 10 o'clock is the cut down time for that day's dispatch, because then I have time till 12 o'clock to pack the orders and send them off first class. But I know I checked orders from yesterday, they haven't been delivered. So there's nothing we can do about it. Bear that in mind. Well, let's put it that way. We work and try to do our best, and we hope for the best. But the life has put a lot of changes in a way, and that's why, let's say, even looking on other courier services, there is nothing at the moment. And I think, if I'm correct, that was last week at least, special delivery as such is not available. So you can't even book like next day special delivery. So we have taken that option off our website, because nothing will happen the next day. So we are back to kind of, even though we have technology and the only companies I think who can deliver, but then again, it's like if they have their own delivery systems, like there would be supermarkets where they have their own lorries on the road, then, but then again, you need to get your slot. And I have heard that your slots are sometimes a couple of weeks away. So anyway, so that's kind of, yes, we try our best. We do send it out first class. We still pay the money, but you can't guarantee anything these days. So that's life. I guess we can live with it. It's not really a question of life and death to get your pack of wool on time, isn't it? As much as we would love to. And I wish I could provide that service with, where it gives you peace of mind. Having said that, yesterday I had my parcel delivered, which I could track, and I saw it sitting in a local sorting office for a couple of days. So I guess there's just purely no manpower to actually deliver, even though we had post coming in every day. I think there is a limit how much they can kind of go through. Anyway, so that's about the post. The other thing is, like I said, the weather is beautiful. I hope I can, after I finish this, I'm going outside and I need to do some more painting on the fence on our indoor-outdoor living area. So, which will be kind of like, oh la la, when it's finished. Maybe, well, we supposed to be finished. It's supposed to be finished last year, but yeah, I mean, the weather wasn't there, and so there we go. So if we go back to knitting, the first thing is I would like to show you, and that's kind of, I mean, it doesn't look like it progressed much, but it has progressed in my eyes quite a bit, is this waistcoat, which you can find the picture of it online. Oh. There was a picture of the waistcoat, and the waistcoat is trying to escape. You are trying to escape. Don't go anywhere. Oh, I will sort it out later. There's some things. What's going on there? Where do you come from? Ah, that's why you're trying to escape. I caught the yarn there. It's yeah. Oh, it's getting. Oh, you're escaping. Oh no, you're escaping from that end as well. Oh, what happened there? Oh dear. Sorry about this. I can't put you in a pose and then continue because it seems like that this one is expanding, even though it shouldn't. But well, I will need to use some kind of point protectors when I want to kind of wave it around and show you. There, and one more. So I think we have it all back. So yeah, that's my waistcoat. Oh my God, have I gone into the tangles? Yes, I have. So keep your knitting nicely in a basket, all right? And stop doing what I'm doing. This is do as I say and don't do as I do, all right? But we are there. It's all good, all good. There we go. Just one knot trying to. How did you manage to do a knot there? I don't want to pull it. Ah, because you have gone underneath there. No, you haven't gone underneath, you have gone over there. And through there. Yes, through there. And not, yeah, we are fine, and we still have all the stitches. So basically what has happened, I guess they have knitted nearly, I would say around 10 rows in the other color. And this one is the color combination of the khaki and dark gray. And now the next color combination, I will be keeping the C is the gray, and I will be adding F, which E. Oh God, yes, I'm one back. I'm already on the second color. So I will be keeping the khaki and I will be adding white. And then I will have one of these color combos coming in there. I think it's the first one. So that will be my next row, will look like that. Not row, kind of the ridge. So there. So I have done this one quite successfully. And as you can see, I'm keeping my little chart. Ignore the top of the chart. But if you can see where I'm doing like every 6 row, I need to do increase. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This little mark is where I have changed the color. So I know I need to change the color every 15 rows and I need to increase every 6 rows. So that is just 1, 2, 3. And you can see where I make a cross for the 6 rows. That means I increased. And then again, if I don't know at the moment on which row I am on the color change, but I can see that there is my little mark above the cross. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have done 7 rows. So 7, 8, 9, 10 as well. So I have done 10 rows in this color. So in the 5 rows time, I will need to change. And that is really, really helpful way to do your kind of increase count and row count. And I have my cardigan on to look pretty. I kind of thought like, well, I need to kind of, like I say, we're kind of all going a bit feral. Like, oh, well, why do I do hair? Nobody sees me in the town anyway. Makeup, what's that? Nails, who cares? But I thought, at least I will put pretty cardi on so I can, look sensible. But it's hot. I have a window open here in dining room and it's still hot. So, and meanwhile, I have managed to do my sock this far. Ideally, I would have a little bit more before I start a heel because this one will be very short, at least for me. but that's fine. We will have a shorter sock. And now then, for those of you who will be following the sock knitting, take your pen and paper and write down following instructions for the heel flap. And this video again, pray for the best that it can be saved. And after it's saved, you can always go back and remind yourselves. But take a pen and paper and write down heel flap. For the heel flap, you will use needle 1 and 2 only. The needle 3 and 4 will stay where it is, and it will not be knitted. And now starts the first part of the formula. And you can adapt it to any size of yarn you're using, any number of stitches you're using. So if you have a thicker yarn, you will have less stitches, and it will apply, the same rules will apply. As many stitches you have on those two needles together, so many rows you need to knit for a heel flap. And this time it is a row because we will start knitting backwards and forwards. Up till now we've been going round and round the garden. But now we will be going 1 needle, 2 needles, and we will be turning back, right? As many stitches you have, so many rows you will need to knit. And that's again where it's handy to have a little piece of paper besides you and just make a tick. I know people, I do sell like row counters in a shop, but I find them as useful as pen and paper, because if you think like you will forget to make a tick on a piece of paper when you have done a row, so you will forget to turn your row counter. So whatever method you use, if you like your row counters, use them, but pen and paper is absolutely adequate. So now then, we will start knitting the heel flap. And for the complication, oh God, I have no scissors. Anyway, I want to change because I'm using my leftover yarns, and I have decided that I want to do a heel in a different color. So I will be joining the other yarn, and now this is how you not do things, because you should be having a scissors. And oh, yes, I managed. That is how you disconnect the yarn without destroying your knitting. So I have taken off the green, and I will add the grey, and I will start a knitting. And to knit the heel flap, if you want to do a thicker flap, you can continue knitting just stockinette stitch, but this one will be, yeah, you can, I think you can see. Can you see on this one? Can you see there? There is something which is very easy to do, and it makes the heel just that bit thicker. So that bit more, you can see how it slightly pulls in on a sock, but that just makes the heel flap thicker. And what we do is, I will start this, because I'm changing colors, this one will be a bit of fiddle. I'll try to, oh no, now you can see this box is things I'm dragging home for you for the videos. Martin kind of mentioned that, can I have a dining room back maybe for a weekend, because you will not have any videos until Tuesday. So there we go. I'm trying to get the grey to start, and to knit the heel flap in that kind of thick pattern. What we do, oh, this is not going to happen on a video, is it? Right, we knit 1 stitch, and now to create that thicker. Oh, and this one is a new method of weaving in ends, which I have seen Stephen West doing. And if that way would be possibly for you better to see. This one is my new thread. This one is 2 threads, and he calls it weaving. If you go on the Stephen West's website, there is really good tutorial, and all he does, he knits a stitch and flips those both ends together over the yarn you're using. But that is kind of, I don't want to confuse you too much. So you knit 1 stitch and you just slip the next. And because I need to weave in my ends, I'm not flipping that over, but I'm knitting a stitch and I'm slipping a stitch. No, yeah, well, this is very comfortable to show, but you knit a stitch and you slip stitch. You knit stitch, and now my ends are kind of, well, I forgot about them. I will end up stitching them in anyway afterwards. But so what I want you to see is really how to operate those two needles. And that's why sometimes the sock patterns say you put these things on a stitch holder, you use so many stitches, and there we go. So these needles have 16 stitches. You should have still 16 stitches on each needle. So which means you will knit in total 32 rows, which is 2 times 16 is 32, isn't it? Yes, I'm telling you the correct numbers. And again, knit, slip, 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 knit, and you can slip the last one just for sake of it. Right, and you can see how now because I changed the colors, you can see the slipped stitch is still green and the knitted stitch is grey. And I have only done 2 needles. The number 1 needle, and how do you know which one is number 1? There is your thread, right? And if your thread is on the right side of your knitting, facing you, knitting facing me, so this one is my right side, there is my cord, the needle 1 and needle 2 is the first 2 needles. And now I can turn my work, right? And now I'm facing inside of the sock. And now I slipped the last stitch, right? But and make sure you don't forget to knit it. Oh, sorry, to purl. And now all that row back on both needles, you purl all the stitches. And I hope we'll have enough time to do another 2 rows, because what I'm trying to do is to show you how the slipped stitch is forming that kind of thicker heel. That is when I'm looking on a screen and not on what I'm doing, and I wish I would have glasses. One slipped off, so that's all right. We are rescued. And now I'm purling all stitches. Oops. And whatever method of knitting you're using, continental or English or whatever, it should be the same thing. And like I said, you can, if you just want a plain heel, same thickness as, or same as, you can continue and do the, let's say in this case, 32 rows in stockinette stitch, which means you would knit the first row, all stitches, and purl back. But the thicker heel sometimes does pay off. I know even there's ladies who come in and knit socks in a shop. They sometimes, if they have a tendency, or they have to somebody who will be wearing the socks quite a lot, they even take and add to your normal yarn, what you would be using in all the sock, they add an extra strand of yarn, uses 2 strands for the heel. I mean, it doesn't, how to explain it? It doesn't, if you try to use the 2 strands, it doesn't prettify the sock. It makes the heel a little bit bulky, but it adds a lot of wearability. So now I have done the 2 rows, and you can just about see, can you see? Yeah, you can just about see where there is the green stitch on the first row is the slipped one. And now on the second row, so we have purled all the stitches, so we still have 16 stitches on the needles. And now we again start with knit 1, and slip one, knit one, 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 slip one. And what you're trying to do when you do that is to make sure that you slip the stitch right above the first stitch which you slipped, so it will create a nice line going up. So make sure you don't misplace the slipping, right? And the first thing is, well, you can't slip the stitch all the time. No, because you slip the stitch in one row and then you purl all, and then again slip, knit, right exactly in the same place as it was in the first row. So what I'm doing now, I slipped, now I knit, slip, knit, slip, and this one will be knit, slip, knit, slip, knit, slip, knit, slip, knit, slip, knit. You will get bored to tears, this one. Slip, knit, slip, knit, slip, knit, and the last stitch is again slip, but I'm not sure. Yeah, let's do slip. Let's do that. Right, so I'm turning the work again back, and as you can see, the other two needles, right, they just sit there. They sit and happily wait until we will be doing gasset. And now again, we purl all the stitches, so which means 32 stitches. We purl them all, and hopefully you will see already how the heel flap starts to. You do not have to do contrasting color, that's one thing. I'm doing the contrasting color only because I have the yarn, various quantities of yarn, and I want to use it up. If you have your lovely, nice self-patterning yarn, you don't need to change anything. You can just carry on, kind of like carry on knitting. Right. So we will be nearly there, and to be honest, this is just about all you need to do until Tuesday, when we will be turning the top of the flap. So it's kind of instructions are basically nearly there for the, and if next week, and like I said, if you haven't managed to do enough for the top of your sock, don't worry about it, because that one we can, you can carry on and then start the flap later when you are ready for it. And you have all the weekend. And can you just about, I hope that the camera will show you. I'm trying to stretch it out. Can you see how there is this nice kind of larger stitch, that's the slit stitch, which is forming, and you will feel as soon as you knitted another maybe 3-4 rows, you will start to feel what we need to do. So 32 rows, and the calculation is as many stitches you have on those two needles, so many rows you need to do. And now I will do as I say, not as I do. If I find a pen and actually make number 4, because I have knitted 4 rows, and I can guarantee you if I put it down, I will forget. And then it's like, oh, how do we count and whatever. So anyway, and that means that if you have ever in the future various numbers of stitches, so you always will take from the 4 needles, you will take 2 needles, and that's what you will be using for your heel. Count the stitches, and as many stitches, so many rows. That is the first part of formula. If you remember that, you don't need any pattern. As far as you have cast on enough, that the sock fits around your leg, you will be able to do the heel, right? And that is just about it. So the continuation, if you do the flap, you will see the flap will form like a little kind of flag above your stem of the sock, and it will be like a square piece coming up. And you finish with the wrong side row because you have even number of rows. So the row 32, you will end up at the beginning of needle number 1. And then on a Tuesday, I will show you, because that actually to turn the flap is pretty quick. And I hope I can do it all on the camera. The only problem is I wish I can hug the computer and show you the right way around, but we will see. So I will talk you through it. So don't worry, it's easier than it looks. Seriously. So next time we will be doing that. There we go. Because you will be up there when you finished your flap. And then we will turn the flap, and it might be, it depends how the time goes. I will show you how, well, I actually will show you, because then you will have a couple of days to do the gusset and how to do the picking up and that part. And once you will be there, then you are already in a straight and narrow. Then you just continue knitting on around until you need to cast off. Right. So that is it for today. So hopefully you will have a nice weekend, enjoyable weekend. It's Easter, bank holiday, but no beach, only garden. So yeah, so what can we do? And I will be back on Tuesday, 3 o'clock. As always, I will be here. Have a good weekend, have a good Easter, and see you all soon.